I'm going to read a passage from one of the chapters, and this is when the protagonist Luma and Selma accompany their boss, Princess Hasna, to her very posh villa in Marbella, southern Spain. It is an exclusive area where all the rich and famous people reside there, and it was a very interesting experience for the two ladies, especially when they are going have to get on well and they start to relive their all previous lives, meeting young men, Spanish men, and other things that's going to happen. Our readers just to start with when how to describe the place. They reached Malaga airport, which they found cute. A car with a Moroccan chauffeur was waiting for them and they were greeted in Arabic and then driven to Marbella, an hour's drive in heavy summer traffic. The women kept silent on the route to the city. They were distracted by the scenery with childlike excitement. As they drove through the outskirts of Marbella to reach the center, the road was lined with grand villas built in a mixture of Moorish and European styles. The car reached Puerta Bonas, which had villas that were even more grand. Hasna's villa was painted sunset yellow to reflect off the heat. The entrance was huge but more modest than her mansion in Dubai. The entrance was bright white and the walls were adorned with photos of Marbella. The villa had 5 bedrooms. The master had an ensuite and there was a bathroom shared by the other bedrooms. The servants occupied an annex. 2 huge reception rooms were decorated in Middle Eastern design combined with the Spanish. Hasna had made sure to include pictures of the local environs and depiction of the history of the area as a fishing village before it became famous resorts when it was discovered by European royalties after the Second World War and the Middle Eastern oil boom.
Who exactly are you?
Well, my name is Mahir Salih. I'm a writer, author, and I'm amateur actor, and also I'm a psychiatrist, daytime. And I live in London for the last 27, 28 years. And I have published few books. It's mainly the theme about East and West, or my native country, which is Iraq, where I was born in Baghdad. So most of the writings are going on that theme. It's a lot of about empowering women, a lot of about strong personalities and the weak, and how do we live and survive. So I hope to continue to write on that. It can be my writing a niche for some people, but it can be interesting, I'm sure.
Your new book,
Mm-hmm.
to somebody who doesn't know anything about your genre, who hasn't read anything,
Mm-hmm.
and who is from the new generation and he doesn't read books.
Right. It is really talks about the Eastern and Western culture, how they agree, how do they disagree together, and when they clash and when they get on well. And it is a very common theme with the spread of the Western culture all over the world to the different ones, and how do they take it and how do they adapt it and assimilate it to their own cultures at the same time. So it's also it will take you to places probably you've never been to. I don't know if you've been to Baghdad, not too many, or other places even. And these places to know different eras of time. I've lived long enough to have a quite to remember things happen in the past and currently. So I'm happy to take people on journeys. They can travel. They don't need to book a flight and go. I'll take them there, and you will know a lot about history of those parts of the world as well, and how do they live, how do they function. So I'm very interested to go ahead with that.
If you're not born here, we still have memories of the past, the smell of the sea, the noise of the city.
Mm, mm.
If you had to choose three of those of the senses,
Yeah.
what would bring back from Baghdad?
The first thing, the noise of the bazaar. I love to go to that old souk. They call it the bazaar already. It's called Shorja, and it's people, the sellers. I'd love to go there, and I think also I'd like the smell. I'd like and the look of the books, as Baghdad famous with its bookstores. And there's a huge, huge market called Al Sarai, Souk Al Sarai. I remember my dad used to take me just the beginning of the school week to buy stationery, but he buys the books from all over the world, and that's what I think I started to read. These two things I'd love, and maybe the food, the taste, still really lovely here. We have Iraqi restaurants and very delicious, but I think the ingredient is a bit different. Taste there. So these are the three things probably I would think of.
Where do I find the book?
Oh, you can find it everywhere. It's going to be on Amazon. It will be. I'll publish it. I'm talking about independent publishers as well, but more likely I self-publish it. So you can find it on the Libras. You can find it everywhere. Waterstones, you name it. Just to the websites, more likely you can find it. Barnes and Noble, and they will spread everywhere.